Shalom, shalom. This is Brother Michael Ward from GMS Lake Charles Camp, coming at you again with another video through the Spirit. But before I do anything, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, by Hashem HaKadosh. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone who strive and taught us this truth. And blessings to you brothers across the four winds, pushing the truth with sincerity. And the title of this video is going to be called, the great day is near. Because the great day of Yahushua making their return, is getting closer and closer, And while it's getting closer, you have the prophets, sounding, blowing that trumpet, giving that warning, Now is the time to take heed, man, because it's going to come upon a time to where the prophets is not going to be on the corners. The prophets are not going to be on the highways and hedges anymore, man. So now is the time, if you have access, to get this word, is to hold on to it, the scriptures say, seek the Lord while he may be found. Now is the time to be seeking the Lord, because when he come back, it's not going to be all peaches and cream that everybody speaks about, He's coming to lay that pop down, He's coming to judge the wicked. He's coming to judge 2/3, and he also coming to break the staff of the wicked, man. Take them out of their power seat, man. But, you have time, to get right. And the prophets are out here telling you to get right, because that day is not going to be something light, man. That day is going to be full of evils. And the only ones that's going to be protected in that day, is the men of the Lord. The ones who's been working, the ones who've been striving, the ones who've been pushing this 100% truth, man. Those are the only ones that's going to be protected in that time. Everybody else is going to partake in that sword, man, or in the fire. This is Zephaniah chapter 1 and verse 14. It say, the great day of the Lord is near, it is near, and hasted greatly. Even the voice of the day of the Lord, the mighty man shall cry bitterly. Right, man, and that's letting you know how bad it's going to be out here, man. The mighty man shall cry bitterly. The Pookies, the Ray Rays, Man, D-Lo, all of them, bro, they're going to be looking for protection in that time, man. And they're not going to have it. The scriptures say they should seek death and not find it. That's letting you know how bad it's going to be out here. Now is the time. Now is not the time to play around. Now is not the time, to put off day to day. Now is the time to buckle down. Put them boots on. Grind even harder. This is Ecclesiasticus or Sirach, chapter 5 and verse 7. It say, make no tarrying to turn to the Lord, and put not off from day to day. For suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come, and in they security thou shalt be destroyed and perish in the day of vengeance. Right, man? So don't put off day to day. By you putting off day to day, you killing your legacy, man. So by you killing your legacy, at the end of it, you're going to be destroyed, man. Because you played around while you had time to get right. You put off day to day. So the Lord is going to deal with you, man. We should be working continuously, daily, reading, studying, watching videos, doing videos. And I'm speaking to myself first and foremost, man. We can't get weak in this thing, because it's going to come. I say it's going to come because it comes upon a time to where you get so weak to where you don't want to do this anymore. You don't want to be around anymore, and by you throwing the towel in, the Lord is going to get with you worse, because this is Matthew chapter 24 and verse 46. It say, blessed is the servant whom is the Lord, when he cometh shall find doing. Right, man. We should be working. We shouldn't settle up on our lease, because that great day is coming and it's not stopping for no one. So we can't get comfortable in this thing, man. We have to ask the Lord to keep that fire lit up under you, man. This is Revelation chapter 22 and verse 12. It says, and behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me, to give every man according as his work shall be. Right, man? The Lord is coming back to give our rewards to everyone in the world. And whether it be good or bad, you're getting a reward, man. You know, if the missiles hit you, you know, or the Lord have you die some other type of way, man, that's the reward that you receive, man. The works that you did was worthy of what you got. You know, and the ones, you know, that get that victory over the beast, you know, that was able to get beamed up into those chariots, that's the reward that you work for, man. Those the one, you know, that put their hand to the plow and not look back, man. You know, so we have to continue to work, continue to strive. And I'm speaking to myself first and foremost, man. You know, I have to continue to work. At least I partake in the same plagues and things that these wicked people partake in, man. You know, and I don't want to partake in that at all. You know, because these are not going to be some light deaths. You know, like everybody being that YOLO spirit, you only live once. No, bro. These deaths are not going to be light, man. We talking about the power, the true power, man. You know, this shit is not going to be easy, bro. That's why we have to work. That way we could be protected in that time. You know, because the scriptures say all these things that's to come are for the wicked. So we have to know that. And by us knowing that, that puts fear in our heart, you know, to continue to work, to continue to do the will, continue to study, to make sure we on point, make sure we got the wrinkles ironed out of our garment, man. You know, this is Proverbs chapter 16 and verse 4. It said, the Lord had made all things for himself. Yea, even the wicked for the day of evil. Right, man? You know? So if you're wicked, you know, you've been made for the day of evil, man. If you ain't been doing the things that Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, you know, asks you to do, you know, you have been made for the day of wicked. I mean, the day of evil. You've been made for the day of evil, man. And that's not going to be something light, man. That's not going to be something like a little slap on the wrist. No. You're going to die of a grievous death, man. You know? We're talking about the true creator, you know? And people want to play with him. You know, he's not something that should be played with. He's not someone that should be played with, man. You know? So now is the time to get right. Now is the time to buckle down. You know? Now is the time to lock in even more. Speaking to myself first and foremost, man. You know? But Lord willing, you know, this quick lesson was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, by Hashem Kakadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone who strived and taught us this truth. And peace, safety, and blessings to you brothers across 4 winds, pushing this truth and sincerity. Until next time.